many stars aglow. I come down from the mountain, I am back on Central Time, where I'm a slave to all my worries, I'm a slave to my deadlines, and I begin to wonder why I could have long since survived on what nature does provide. Maybe so, but never mind, I've come down from the mountain. When I dream, I see this cabin in my mind, out in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere to tell if it's up ahead or somewhere I left behind. All I know is I ain't quite ready to go there. Don't it make me wonder why? Oh, it makes me wonder why. Every day I wonder why I've come down from the mountain, down that switchback road, down from the mountain, where I've never seen so many stars grow. I've come down from the mountain, I got a story to tell, I got a song that I've been singing to myself. My name is Duhon, and I'm from New Orleans, and we came straight to Chattanooga. We're on a tour, myself and Lydia Luce. It's a co-bill for about a week and a half, and we had most of those shows booked, and then at the last minute, it was mostly last minute, I guess, as booking goes. The agent put most of them together, and I noticed that we had a free Saturday, and I thought I'd get a show on that Saturday. And trying to figure that out between New Orleans and Nashville, Chattanooga made plenty of sense, specifically because I knew Christy Graves was around, and I had played a Chattanooga house show with her before, and I knew that she could summon the troops, and that's exactly what she did last night for a house show for us, which was great. But I think that maybe that's something that I could talk about, without too much of a curriculum here. You have your ticketed shows, as we all know. We all go to a show where it's a venue and you buy a ticket, and then there's this other thing that's been happening called house concerts, right? For the past 10 or so, or 20, I'm not sure how long it's been happening, but it really has supplemented, I think, what as an up and coming, so to speak, touring musician, to fill the gaps between the venues sometimes, in markets that you haven't fully cultivated, so to speak. It can be really helpful, and I think it's helpful as a listener too, to have someone in town who is putting their heart and soul into finding acts that they believe in, and then opening their house to this whole experience. There's people will shy away from a $10 ticket at the local venue that they pass by, even if the name on the marquee is a clever band name and the press photo is taken really well. If someone invites you into their home and asks you to pay $20 to see an act, somehow people pay it gladly and they bring a casserole, which is nice. And I think that's valid. I think in the same way, there are performers and artists who are there to entertain, and there are other performers and who are artists who are opening up their home creatively to you. and trying to give you something real from themselves as songwriters, in this case. And so I think the house concerts in that way have been a lovely evolution of touring artists. You know, in the Chitlin circuit back in the day might have been like the way to go. And you get on the radio, and then you hit the road with the band, and you're on a 4-band bill with Johnny Yates. You know, but it's not like that anymore. You do the house concerts in between the shows. You know, but for those of you listening through the wires, you might not know that we are at a place called Fiddlers Anonymous in Chattanooga, and there are fiddles all over the place, as well as all manner of stringed instruments. And it reminds me of a song that I wrote inspired by a luthier back home in New Orleans. His name's Sal Giardina, and he fixes my guitars. In fact, I got to bring this one right here into one real soon. But I was sitting there on the stool across from his bench, and Sal does great work. You get to choose 2 out of the 3. You can have it good, fast, or cheap, right? With any sort of service. And with Sal, you get it done well. You get it done cheaply, but he takes his time. So if you make friends with him, you might be able to work that out. But you kind of got to just sit there and watch him do it, which is great because he gets to talking, and you kind of there's things piled up everywhere in his shop, so you could stare at things for long enough and it'll be fine. But this song was inspired, I think, by Sal and his shop. It's called They Don't Make Them Like They Used To. Today I'll dedicate it to Fiddlers Anonymous.
Yeah.
Mr. Joe's been fixing cars long as I remember, fender to fender, full engine overhauls. His pride and joy is that old beauty. Only time he'll ever use it is to drive his wife to church and the grocery store. Like they've done 30 years of Sundays before. And they don't make them like they used to, no, anymore. Everything they know, they learned from the Second World War. Are broken strings, broken hearts. Take them apart and put them back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark, 'cause they don't make them like they used to anymore. Yeah, and I know Sal down at the music shop. He's a modern day Geppetto. Instead of boys, he fixes cellos and my guitar. Yeah, you give a smile when I walk in. Take a break and get to talking about the way things got to be the way they are. I'll say just keep playing them old blues on that old guitar, 'cause they don't make them like they used to, no, anymore, no. Everything they know, they learned from the Second World War. All broken strings, broken hearts. Take them apart and put them back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark, 'cause they don't make them like they used to anymore. Bad habits we fell into, trading old for brand new, till a man can't fix a damn thing anymore. I got a hand to my dad and his before, 'cause they don't make them like they used to anymore, no. Everything they know, they learned from the Second World War. All broken strings, broken hearts, take them apart and put them back together. Drive your best girl around forever in an old Skylark. 'Cause they don't make them like they used to now. They don't make them like they used to now. They don't make them like they used to anymore. How we doing?
Good.
Great. Should I keep? Yeah.
Maybe talk like for a couple minutes and do one more.
I'm going to talk for a couple more minutes and then do one more.
Good idea.
I was just rifling through the list of questions that I could maybe ask myself, and well, one of them was something like, "Do you have advice, or what advice would you give to, like, someone trying to hit the road, or I don't know, play music or something?" And I was thinking about twisting that question a little bit to say, I have no advice if, or in other words, good luck to you, sir or ma'am, if. No, I think what I'm saying is, I can't imagine how tough it would be to start in like a 5-person band and be touring. How do those bands make it? Because I was able to figure it out because I was sleeping in my car by myself, and there's obviously the financial element of stay small, keep it all, but then there's also this emotional element that I remember feeling this. I was touring with a band, good buddies these days, they're on the West Coast, but we were across the pond and we were in a van, and it was just me solo opening for them, and we had like one kind of slow night, and I remember how hard they all took it, and I was just kind of like, oh, slow night, no big deal, next one will be good. But they all took it hard, and I realized it was because they all loved each other so much that they like hated to see their bandmates go through a rough, discouraging night. And if it was just them, like it was just me, they would have been able to shake it off, but they were all like feeling it for each other, which was, really kind of a lovely thing, but also brutal. These days, I'm touring with a trio, which is great, but still kind of economical, keeping it small. But that is a tough thing, I think, starting out for bands. And the other thing is, I don't know how you do it if you're not putting out records, because even though the system has figured out how to stream your music for free and not necessarily pay you for it, it's still out there working for you while you sleep with these algorithms that are putting your songs into like people's ears in the Midwest or the West Coast who happen to like some comparable artist who's, in the mainstream. Somehow your song wriggles its way into their Pandora station or something, and then you have fans in Seattle somehow. We had a really encouraging West Coast in that way that clearly articulated that for us. But I don't know how you would do it without putting out records at a fairly steady clip. I've kind of failed at that recently. The last record was like 4 years displaced from the record before, but hopefully I'm on my way to a new record sooner than that. So I think frequently releasing music as a solo performer, you can get away with it. But if you're a band and you're not putting out records very often, good luck to you. Anyways, let's see. Play you one more song. Well, I met her last September. These days I call her mine. She's my summer windswept Juliet, my autumn Valentine. Yeah, we sit out on a Sunday to enjoy the sweet sunshine. Oh, she says, babe, how I wish it could be like this all the time. It's gonna take a little rain to let the grass beneath us grow. It's gonna take a little rain for the flowers start to show. Sure, we all want it our way on, but there's some things that we don't know. Trust that on the way to beautiful, it's gonna take a little rain. Well, we parted on a Sunday, much too gloomy for its name. Yeah, and the visions of forever faded into yesterday. And I grow tired of thinking about starting over. All I can help but say is, good Lord, why does it always have to be this way? It's gonna take a little rain to let the grass beneath us grow. It's gonna take a little rain for the flowers start to show. Sure, we all want it our way on, but there's some things that we don't know. Trust that on the way to beautiful, it's gonna take a little rain. Cause dark storms will come to bring you dark days. Rivers will rise, what they want they will take. That storm will pass, and you will remain. Save the tears in your eyes, love, leave that to the rain. Dark storms will come to bring you dark days. Oh, the rivers will rise, what they want they will take. That storm will pass, and you will remain. Save the tears in your eyes, love, leave that to the rain. Yeah. When that storm passes, take you by the hand, let you know I'll be forever your man. You'll know this love was never in vain. Save the tears in your eyes, love, it's gonna take a little rain. Let the grass beneath us grow. It's gonna take a little rain for the flowers start to show. Sure, we'd all want it our way, but there's some things that we don't know. Trust that on the way to beautiful, it's gonna take a little rain. Thanks for listening. Pleasure coffee talking with you.
Coffee talk. Rhode Island. It's neither a road nor